This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 1211. I joyfully decluttered these 5 things to boost happiness by Krista O'Reilly-Davi-Digui with BecomingMinimalist.com, and I'm Justin Malik. Happy Friday. Welcome to Optimal Living Daily, where I read to you every day from the best blogs I can find with permission from the websites. Today's post is from a guest author on Joshua Becker's site. Krista's mission is to help messy humans quiet the noise of perfectionism, comparison, and fear. She writes at alifeinprogress.ca. And you know she's good because Joshua Becker featured her on Becoming Minimalist, the very popular minimalism blog that doesn't accept guest posts from anybody. I was lucky enough to meet Joshua last year. Super nice guy. He's one of those people who you feel like is really deeply listening to you, which is a great trait to have. I saw him over the course of a couple days, actually, and he picked up the conversation right where he left off, remembering everything. And he had been talking to a lot of people, so that was really impressive. And I want to mention, he's actually reopening up his 12-week course for decluttering. It has guided instruction, community, encouragement, and inspiration to help families declutter their home. It only happens 4 times a year, and it's back up as of today, actually, if you're listening in real time. I trust him that he does a really good job with this course after getting to know him, and there are really great reviews for that course. So if you're interested, check it out. You can find it at oldpodcast.com/clutter. I have that linked in this episode's description. But that's enough for an intro, so let's get right to it as we optimize your life. I joyfully decluttered these 5 things to boost happiness by Krista O'Reilly-Davi-Digui with BecomingMinimalist.com. Quote, "We have 2 lives, the one we learn with and the life we live after that." Bernard Malamud. My 40s have undoubtedly been the hardest and best years of my life so far. I've grieved, walked through pain, moved kids to college, learned to rest. I've learned to love myself in earnest and show up through fear. I've healed and done hard things, put down deeper roots. It has been a season of learning to let go of what no longer serves. While I am a slow and simple advocate, it is neither the pursuit of simplicity nor absence of stuff alone that determines my happiness. My happiness is rooted instead in a sense of freedom, of living on purpose, and in inner calm. Happiness grows its tenacious roots inside of me. I joyfully decluttered these 5 things to boost happiness. Number 1, needing you to like me. Quote, "Care about what others think, and you will always be their prisoner." Lao Tzu. One of the greatest obstacles to my freedom and happiness is caring much what others think of me. I stopped saying yes out of obligation, trying to be a good girl or please others at the expense of my mental health or family. I packed up my efforts at trying to keep up perfectly and made more space to laugh, create, and simply breathe. I appreciate the wise advice of Brene Brown, who suggests we take a 1 by 1 inch square of paper and make a list of people whose opinions matter to us, those people who love and accept us with all our quirks and imperfections. If you need more paper, you need to edit, she encourages. Interestingly, I don't need you to like me as much now because I've decided to like myself. The more I've come to like and appreciate myself, to see my strengths and weaknesses with neither shame nor ego, my happiness grows. As I offer myself more compassion and learn to move through perfectionism, fear, and comparison, I am also more able to pour out compassion for others and show up with courage to serve. Number 2, needing to know all the answers. Quote, "Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answers." Rainer Maria Rilke. One of the bulkiest pieces of baggage I've decluttered was my desperate need to have health and faith, parenting and marriage all figured out with a surefire 7-step program, no questions or fears remaining. I wanted certainty and rules and a perfect framework to guide me. Instead, I lived dripping with anger and anxiety. To boost happiness, I needed to make space for the questions. I've learned through challenging circumstances to loosen my grip and make space for more mystery and possibility, to trust that I can do hard things and no matter what, I'll be okay. Releasing an imaginary construct of how life should be allows me to step out onto the small bit of light ahead of me. I show up curious now, one step and then another, and experience far greater joy on this messy journey. I don't need to control my world or have all the answers to feel safe. I can just show up messy, imperfect, and real. Number 3, living stuck in fear. Quote, in the depths of winter, I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer. Albert Camus. Sometimes it is in the smelly and litter-strewn trenches that we learn we have what it takes. We are far stronger and more resilient than we ever understood before. I haven't exactly figured out how to declutter fear, but I've broken the tight grip it had on me. I show up every day afraid, but I also show up happy and filled with gratitude. Fear itself is a human emotion. There's no shame in it, but I always get to choose my response. I can show up through fear to help build a world I want to live in. I can get honest with myself above all about who I am and what I want or need, and love the world and my family to the best of my ability. Burying many family members to cancer leaves its scars, and as I approach the age at which my mom died, I find myself counting down the years. The truth is none of us knows the number of days we get, so I make a decision each morning that this simple day is my favorite. Number 4, letting outward circumstances dictate my joy. Quote, the mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. John Milton. Much of happiness is a choice and the result of not putting our hope in transient things, a deliberate decision to scan for beauty, live with gratitude, and intentionally choose our response. Without a doubt, one of the most impactful ways I boosted happiness in my 40s was by remembering that I am the boss of my thoughts. I kicked out the old negative stories and unhelpful imagining. I no longer believe every story that my brain spins for me, and I've learned that no other human or circumstance can make me unhappy. I always get to choose. Nice things and opportunities are lovely gifts, but for health and happiness, purpose trumps pleasure. Instead of waiting for life to make me happy or for everyone and everything in my world to be at peace, I focus on contribution and building community. Number 5, listening to external voices instead of letting my life speak. Quote, before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life telling me who I am. Parker Palmer. There's constant temptation to conform in this world, but I've never found happiness in being who I'm not. I need to wrestle and question and forge my own path. I want to honor that to which I feel called. For my birthday this year, I chose a new theme or mantra: listen to your life speak. In my 40s, I've been decluttering, trying to look like, sound like, or keep up to anyone else. I'm remembering who I am, my mission, the gifts I have to offer, what I require to feel healthy, what it is that I'm after. When I let go of needing to be deemed acceptable by you, I grow increasingly happy and calm. I'm not a fan of gurus or experts because you're the expert of your life. I believe we're wired differently on purpose. Different style, different speech, different gifts to build this world. We can boost happiness by listening in and then offering our unique perspective. It's never too late to change direction. Cull your closet, reduce purchases, simplify your calendar to live with intention. But dig in deeper too. What burdensome weight do you need to declutter so you can live free, on purpose, and show up happier? At 47, I've likely walked out more than half of my story, but my happiness grows more robust than ever. I'm no longer willing to carry baggage that isn't mine or chase happiness and accolade or external reward. And if it is true that we have 2 lives, then I'm joyfully living the second of mine. You just listened to the post titled, I Joyfully Decluttered These 5 Things to Boost Happiness by Krista O'Reilly-Davi-Digui with BecomingMinimalist.com. Just a quick reminder, Joshua Becker's course on decluttering is open for registration, but will close down. He only does it 4 times a year. Check it out and learn more at oldpodcast.com/clutter. I have that linked in this episode's description. And he's giving back to this show if you enroll through my link, which is greatly appreciated. Again, that's oldpodcast.com/clutter. But I'll leave it there for today. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you over the weekend where your optimal life awaits.